I have shot this vlog 4 times because I accidentally keep saying where I work. Let's try this again. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the little bell notification. This is Inside Psych, and let's hit the intro.
The days that you feel like you can't push anymore. Keep pushing.
So I realized I haven't really gone over admission and discharge in the same video, or let alone very detailed on YouTube. Like always, I am a staff at a psych hospital. Every state and facility has different procedures, different rules and regulations, and I am not a nurse or a doctor. I always put that out because people don't read the description. Anyway, we're gonna get started. We'll start with the admissions process and then we'll go to discharge just because it's kind of like how it goes. Most of the kids who come to us do have a heads up that they're coming, and they know of the hospital we are, so they know how strict we are. They'll come from either the hospital, the ER, foster care, a different placement, or a different PRTF or our PRTF. So we'll kind of go over 2 situations where you're either coming from the ER or you're coming from PRTF ours. We'll start with PRTF. Our PRTF is kind of by our hospital, kind of not. It's kind of a drive. If you come to our hospital, it's because you are not safe in your PRTF and you need a closer eye and higher level of care than a PRTF. We have stricter rules, more eyes on us, and I would say a stricter schedule than what PRTF has. So if you get sent to us, it's just, hey, they need a week of a little more eyes on them. Let's make sure everything's going well. Let's get them back in the groove. That way we can send them back. Usually those kids don't have a lot of notice. Usually it's like they SH and it's like, oh, you're going. And then they walk them down after they go to the doctor. A lot of the kids start off at our PRTF at our hospital, so they're familiar with everything. They know the rules, they know staff, they know who to look for. So if they are from our PRTF and they come down, they kind of know the swing of things. And that's really it. They'll change back into scrubs, they'll sign the admission papers, the doctor will be like, hey, you're here for X amount of days, then you can go back to your PRTF. And they're not associated with the PRTF until their treatment at the hospital is done. Now let's say you go to the ER, and this is again per our place, per our state, so I'll put that out there. You go to the ER. They're gonna say, they're gonna do their eval. The one ER I've worked at, it was an 8-hour hold. I don't know how long every other place is, and they'll find you placement. And it's usually the social worker that does that. They'll come in there, say, hey, you're going to XYZ, and we get a call at the hospital with all your background stuff. We find out why you're coming, if you've come there before, if you're high risk, low risk, if you have, we find out if you're high risk or low risk, if you have, a lot of times if they have like charges, if they're coming from jail to the hospital to us, we will kind of get the backstory just so we are aware and don't want to put anyone in a dangerous situation. And then it's usually like, hey, they'll be here in 4 hours, and then they come. You'll go downstairs, they'll say, hey, you're here, a nurse and the treatment team will come down and get you. Your parents will sign a bunch of consent forms. I've never been in that process, so I can't talk too much about that process. Because I've never been involved in that because I'm not a nurse. You come upstairs, and that's when you meet people like me. Once you're upstairs, we greet you. I always try to tell myself the first 10 seconds is the most important because that's when you base an opinion off of someone. So I try to make them feel as welcome and calm as I can the first 15 seconds on the unit. I'll say, hey, what's up? What's your name? I'm Miss Maddie. I always ask your pronouns, your preferred name. That way I don't mess up because I have to get it right in my head. And then we'll sit down, we'll do admissions paper. So in that paper packet, it's like consent forms. You're signing, contracts, like safety contracts saying you won't hurt anyone else. You won't hurt yourself. If you have those urges, you'll tell us. And then we do inventory because we make you guys change into scrubs. So you will change into your scrubs, and then we do inventory of everything you have on because we don't want to lose it. We'll put it in a bag. Usually I go over the paperwork. It takes about 20-25 minutes. It's a decent sized packet, but it's just so you know everything, the rules and everything. Then I'll be like, hey, this is the schedule. I'll point to the schedule wall because we write the schedule every single day. That way you know what's coming tomorrow. And then I'll be like, do you want a snack? Do you want food? If it's close to mealtime, I usually will wait unless you're really hungry. But I always ask because you never know how long someone's been in the ER for or if they were in placement or anything. So I always ask. Then I say, okay, we need to change. You can put on your scrubs. I think it's really important at this point to say, do you want to take a shower? Here's why. When I'm in a new place, I need to be as relaxed as I can be, and showers calm me down. So if you can start off a fresh hospital visit feeling good, feeling okay, calm down, like you just took a shower, you're in new clothes, like clean. I always ask because sometimes that helps a lot of people. I'd say it's like 75% say yes, 25% say no, because most of our admits, I would say, are in the morning. We get an occasional night crew, but they're mostly in the morning. So I'll offer that, and then we will just put you in with the group, and I'll like introduce everyone. Lately, there's only been a max of 10 kids on the unit, and then we will kind of just go through the day and interact and get you guys like used to the groups, used to the people. I will pull you aside and be like, okay, look, I'm the talkative one and I like to joke around. You know, XYZ over there is a little more serious but quiet. That staff, you know, is amazing. Over here's the nurse. Like, I give you kind of a rundown of like who's who. That way, you can kind of like get an idea in your head of like, okay, I'm more outgoing, so maybe Miss Maddie's like more my person, or okay, I'm kind of quiet, so maybe Miss Maddie isn't my person because she likes to joke around, that kind of thing. That way you kind of get in your head like, okay, cool. And then discharge is real simple. This usually happens on day 7 at our place. You will be given a heads up, hey, your discharge day is XYZ. Sometimes you don't have a discharge day. Sometimes, you know, you are not ready to discharge and they're like, let's shoot for Monday or let's shoot for Tuesday. But 90% of the time at our place, you have a discharge day. It gives the kids something to look forward to. We have what is called a campfire room, and the other place I work at, it's called, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a star card room where you earn points throughout your whole stay. Like if you did way above and beyond, or you had like an extremely good day, we give you like points, and then you get to cash them in for like candy, shirts, there's like a ton of things in there you can cash them in for. So that's just something they look forward to on their last day. So you walk in, you cash it out, you get your like prize. You'll change, you'll clean your bed off and put it in the laundry, and that's just because you slept on it, so like put it up. And then the nurse will like go through your discharge stuff with you and kind of work through, you know, you're leaving. The doctor, the nurse, and the treatment team will talk to your parents, get them all the info they need, or your placement holder, or wherever you're going. Something I really tell kids though when you get admitted is, my biggest advice that I can give you is walk in and look for a safe person. Find a staff you trust that you're going to click with. Find someone, you don't even really have to talk to them that much, but when you walk in, be like, okay, I think if I need anything, I can go to her. Because just in the back of your head, knowing that there is someone you can go to usually helps. I also tell the kids, don't come in like a bull in a china shop, because some of our kids that come from juvie will come in ready to fight. And it's just, you never know what someone else is there for. You never know what their triggers are, why they're there, what happened to them, the trauma they've experienced. And if you come in ready to fight, it could trigger a whole unit. So just come in very open-minded. There are good stories, there are bad stories, there's like a mix. I've seen several places on TikTok that look like a hospital. I've seen several places that look more like our facility. Every place is different, so don't go in with a preconceived idea of what it's going to look like, what your experience is going to be, and all the things you see on social media. Even as you watch my videos, go in not thinking it's going to be exactly like mine, because I can tell you the 2 places I've worked at, completely different. Go in with a clear head, go in saying, I'm going to get help and I'm going to find a safe person. And then if you have questions, ask them immediately. You know, go in and be like, okay, you know, I'm kind of worried about this. Like if you have concerns, I'm kind of scared that I have to be in a room and sleep at night. Are there any other options? Or I don't feel safe in the shower. Is there something we can do? Like, how can I shower and feel safe? Like, ask the staff when you get there. Don't be scared to ask, because we are there at the end of the day to help you. And the best we can help you is the more open and honest you are with us. And I think that goes a lot to show like staff needs to be checking on you and specifically ask you, are there any questions you have? Is there anything that triggers you that we don't know about? Like I said, when you get there for admissions, we have everything, but we also have you sign a paper and fill out a paper out that is like, why are you there? What are your triggers and how can we help you? Because even though we know why you're there, maybe there's something you didn't feel safe about telling the doctor or the intake office. There's something, but you feel safe once you get there and tell us. And I think that's a huge thing that I really like that our place does, is that. But that's kind of a quick rundown, brief of admission and discharge at my facility. You know, if there's not very often the kids ask to leave in the scrubs, if you don't have clothes, let me tell you, there's times kids come in and they leave the ER and they've been in a traumatic event and they don't want to walk out in those same clothes, and I totally get it. Ask, hey, are there any clothes? And then you can either explain to them why, or you don't have to. Be like, I just don't want to go home in those clothes. We have clothes. We have emergency set of clothes, because you never know if a kid is going into foster care. 9 out of 10 times, if they are, they don't have anything on them, so we'll make them like little bags. Just ask. Be like, hey, I can't leave in those clothes. Memories, I don't like them. They're dirty. Da 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 da. Whatever the reason being is, ask, because they will either provide clothes or find clothes or be able to help you, or you'll leave in the scrubs. There's been times where the kids are like, I just want to leave in the scrubs, and they left in the scrubs. So I hope this video helped. I love you guys with all my freaking heart. Remember, it might be a bad day with here. It's not a bad life. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, because I do base my videos based off of questions as well. And if you aren't on my Instagram, I have been doing Q&As on there where you guys can give me video topic ideas, and that's honestly where I'm pulling them from the most. So I love you guys. It might be a bad day with here. It's not a bad life, and I will see you on the flippy floppy.